Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Coming out Friday, and they're also putting out a 50th anniversary of Physical Graffiti, which I know you're a huge fan of that record. And I think that's probably the end of the consistency for Zeppelin for me. I don't know about you.
It's a song or two on some of the In Through the Outdoor and a couple of other, but it's not a whole album worth of stuff on anything else after that I would sit through. No.
Yeah.
And really for me, it's just the radio burned them out for me. I got so tired of hearing the same 20 Zeppelin songs on the radio that I just can't hear those Zeppelin songs anymore and not want to puke. I wish they would play some of the deeper tracks. And if that was the case, I'd probably be more into it, but I have to go seek that out on my own. And, you know, it's just not. I guess I just really explored that in my teens when I explored the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and these kinds of bands. So I went through all those albums, playing them and playing them and playing them for night after night. So I feel like I've had thousands or hundreds of hours listening to these bands, and so I don't like. It's like someone saying, "Oh, you got the new Beatles." I've heard everything the Beatles ever recorded, bro. Literally, I have listened to every single track, even the fucking anthology shit. I listened to it.
Right.
So I'm just telling you, there's nothing you're going to bring to me I haven't heard, but at this point, there's nothing new is what I'm saying. So I kind of moved on past all those bands. I mean, I appreciate them. I respect them. I don't knock them. I'm just saying, like, Neely worships them like they're the creators of everything that's rock or metal. And I'm just like, not really.
They're
a part of it. They're a foundation, but they're not the
you
whole
can't
thing.
see it. It's the Led Zeppelin box set.
I bought the box set in the 90s when it first came out because I wanted to have all the remastered stuff. But what more do I need after that? Everything else they've pretty much dropped since then is stuff I've already, So anyways, they're baffled that he's playing the Vic Theater and getting $15 or $2,000 a ticket, and I'm saying that sounds like Robert Plant business to me. It's
how much older is Robert Plant compared to Don Dokken? And at least with Plant, he's doing stuff that he can pull off live with the current vocal range and abilities. Yeah.
Having some common sense with what his actual abilities are night in and night out. And I'm sure screaming at the top of his lungs inside of larger venues is not on his list of things he wants to do. So the more intimate venue with the more toned down atmosphere might be something that his voice suits. And that's why I'm saying I kind of respect that approach. So, hey, maybe they don't get it, but I'm not saying it's the best. I don't think that's his strongest solo work by any means, but it's not horrible. I'm like, oh God, my ears are bleeding because I heard Robert Plant sing some acoustic shit again. So,
yeah.
But that was pretty much the anything else they brought up. The women, I'm not even talk about the lady yelling on the thing, and he wants to punch her because that's just
he
ridiculous.
wants to punch her in the face. My God!
Once they start going to social media videos and other news clips, and Neely's reading the news report from a news station to me, Evil's checked out, ladies and gentlemen. Evil's moved on to do other things with his time and his efforts. So, with that being said, I think we've wrapped up the CMS pretty well. I don't know,
but what do you think of what's happening in the chat room? Because I was just watching. I think they have I think there's some people on there that they think was us. I know I wasn't on the chat room. Aiken banned me, so I went ahead and just opted out of the locals thing. So he said "fuck you." I said "fuck you" right back.
As usual, Evil will come up with a moniker and try to jump in for a segment or two, but I get banned if I make any comment at all. It's obvious that I'm not one of them, and then they can just, as soon as he sees it, I'm gone. So
it's critical.
I did see some other screen names I was not familiar with, don't know who they are. They were touting us, and that was getting them banned as well. I didn't notice that. There was a couple of screen names in there I was not. Someone was saying they were the real Phil Ooze or something. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. So I mean, I didn't create that one. I don't know what they're doing. So I keep saying this is that they don't realize is a lot of the people in that chat room are actually listening to our show too, and to giving us the cranks, because we have no one else that's watching this, ladies and gentlemen. It's you CMSers out there who are watching this, and they're now joining the fun of going in the chat room, because that's honestly funner to read the chats sometimes than it is to listen to what these guys are blathering on about.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
kind of a sad state of affairs where the chat room is actually more fun than the show
the
is,
place to
but
go.
that's kind of where it's at.
right.
Yeah. But Aiken's got a quick hook, so as soon as me or Andrew make a comment, and you'll know who we are because it's so. I mean, like last night when you see Oates' mustache, you kind of know that might be evil. I mean, who else is gonna make you a picture of John Oates' mustache and put it in there while you're talking about Hall and Oates? But that I got one comment and then I was gone.
Right.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of effort for no gain there.
Oh.
I thought they would get the joke though and laugh and say it's Oates' mustache. Look at that, he's in here chatting with us. And no, they didn't get it.
They have lost their sense of humor, man. I mean,
Yeah, clearly, because I gave them two good ones last night. I gave them Oates' mustache, and when they were talking about Sting, I put a shirtless picture of the real Gordon Sumner, and I was the real Gordon Sumner for a minute. And I said that I like to fuck my wife every day, and I got banned. Boom, gone. So, because remember they were talking about Sting, and they didn't
the
believe
police.
that he could,
Did you
have
catch? I think I mentioned to you guys how the Clip Clop refers to Stuart Copeland as Stowart.
Yeah, Stowart, and he doesn't understand that these guys got screwed out of their share of whatever they wrote in these songs. That Sting and the management clearly got Sting on every fucking thing in the fucking catalog, so these two guys don't get any loot. And they're just like, why would they want to sue him now? Because clearly they realized they got screwed.
Yeah,
and they're realizing now, when they were 20 years old, they just signed the contract like everybody, like Don Dawkins. They just signed the contract. I didn't even read the fucking fine print.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, those two guys being youngsters, and well, maybe you could say Andy Summers was a little older than the other
he
two,
was.
so maybe he should have known. But either way, you could see how in the moment of 1981, is this what we're talking about? 80,
Yeah,
when
something.
they got
Yeah.
signed or whatever,
It's
that
about
they're just
81.
signing contracts to get on a record label to start dropping their albums. And unfortunately for them, it pretty much made every single song they ever wrote say written by Gordon Sumner, and so they don't
Right.
get shit, and he gets it all. And so that is kind of a fuck job. And in reality, some of those songs that Andy Summers talking about, his guitar part is critical
Yeah.
to the foundation of the music of the song. So I could see why he'd be like, hey, motherfucker, like Sting didn't write that guitar part, I did. And that's why you hear that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
on some of those songs.
Right.
So I'm just saying, I could see how he would be like, yo, dude, I had a big part of the song. The drums is a little bit of a testy thing. Drummers always are saying, like Blotzer, that they're writing stuff.
Right.
They're writing beats, I guess.
They
I don't,
wrote,
I mean, I don't know how
they
many
wrote
guys
the
actually
song
can
around
show-
the drum
yeah.
pattern.
I've never actually seen that done. I've seen some drummers who can play chords on guitar and show
Right.
me their riff and then want me to play the riff while they're playing a drum beat.
You
and
mean-
that would be songwriting?
You mean
in my
like
opinion. They were
like a
writing
Charlie
song.
Benante?
I don't think Blotzer is one of
Yeah.
those guys.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Blotzer's picking up an axe and saying, DeMartini, let me show you how this one goes. I just don't see Blotz doing that. And nor do I see Stuart Copeland, as a fantastic of a drummer as he is,
Sure.
going, hey, Sting, let me have that bass. I'm going to show you how the bass line should go. I just don't see that happening. So
And
I think in this case, in my opinion, maybe Andy Summers has a little more credence to his claim that he wrote some riffs that contributed to these songs, whereas I don't know where Copeland stands as a
Right.
drummer on this stuff.
Isn't it interesting though? They start off with this story about them retaining a lawyer to sue the shit for their any money that is due to them, and then they proceed to tell you how much they dislike the band, but spend an entire segment on it. Fuck.
I'm kind of with them in the sense that I'm more like, I guess Neely has said there was a couple police songs. There are a few police songs I do enjoy,
Sure.
ladies and gentlemen. But they're the first two albums, I think, that they released, and then after that they start going off into stuff I'm not
Sure.
interested in. And then even later when Sting is doing his solo stuff, I don't
Yeah.
really enjoy any of that.
Right.
He's another one of those guys who's like Peter Gabriel, who thinks that his
Oh, yeah.
worldly views are better than everyone else's, and I'm the fucking holy mystic that you should listen to and follow, and I don't buy into any of that horse shit. So I think it's all a sham that they're putting on. It's a shtick, like like my
Yeah.
wig. It's a radio shtick, ladies and gentlemen. They're putting on a show for you. But the reality is, what if you're Sting, you got hundreds of millions of dollars at this point in your career. Would it be that much of a back-breaking, bank account breaking situation for you to call up the manager or the accountant or the publishing, whoever's handling your shit with this, and say, cut in Summers for 10 or 15% and Copeland for 10 or 15% for the rest of this shit for the rest of our time that we're collecting checks, so they shut the fuck up and we can get back on stage and do some police shows and make even more money. I mean, at some point in time, why are you tripping on pennies and denying yourself the opportunity to make more? We all know in this day and age, no matter how much he's pulling in from streaming and whatever revenues from the digital universe, it is far less than what he's getting when he gets on stage and performs, and far less than what he's getting on stage and performing with the police inside major soccer stadiums around the globe filled with fucking 50,000 people, which is what they were doing. You go watch them in that video of 10, 20 years ago in Buenos Aires or wherever. That place is huge, man. This is like AC/DC level size venues.
Right.
So I don't know. So maybe that 35,000 a week or whatever they were saying he's pulling in is just so he just can't cut him in for 5 or 10 grand of that. No, can do. I don't know. I don't get it. It just seems odd to me.
Yeah. So weird.
But is that not Sting though? Is that not how he's always acting? The guy fucking thinks his shit don't stink, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. He's an arrogant fuck. But what was the paid segment?
Wasn't that the lady that was on the plane or the train or wherever she was yelling?
Because that's what's getting harder and harder to figure out what would be a paid segment, because it's all shit. You would think the paid segment would be the primo stuff, but it's not.
Why are we not doing Judge Aiken? Why is the paid segment not 1 hour of the judge giving some rulings?
Right.
Why are we rehashing?
Do you think it's Neely
yelling on social media? I think that they're just desperate for stories and have nothing to fucking bring to the show, and so they're just grabbing anything off the internet that flies across their phone during their work week, and they go, "Oh, we'll save that and talk about that later." And it's just like, it has nothing to do with music, has nothing to do with anything. And quite frankly, I can show you guys a million videos of women freaking out in airports and restaurants and hotels and cabs, and they're all over YouTube. So why is this something that I want to go to the CMS for? I don't, again, is there a disconnect with evil? Am I not understanding something here?
No idea. I mean, it totally is kind of like, let me put it to you this way. So last night I was out to dinner with my wife. They had in this restaurant a lounge area, but they didn't have TV. Well, they had a couple TVs on, but they were streaming, I think, a Roku channel of like videos where people, the stupid videos. Somebody's riding their bicycle and they flip it and flip and land awkwardly, or somebody walking on ice and slips and, splits their ass in half kind of thing. That was playing, and I looked up for a few seconds. And I was like, oh, nothing. That's what's playing. No interest here. But then there was an older guy, and he was just totally fucking entertained by that shit. So maybe you have to have kind of like a simple mind, to be easily entertained by stupid shit like that, maybe.
Yeah, and I totally understand that there might be some market out there for that. I just didn't think when you called your show the Classic Metal Show, and then I was going to get a bunch of like blooper reels and videos of people freaking out and
pop culture, news stories, and politics.
That's pretty much where the show has devolved to, which I think is what certain other people, Doghouse and others, have messaged on our videos about why they don't want to listen to the show
and
anymore.
Keep in mind, how long has it been since there's been a Mariah sighting on the show, and also last time that Jericho Green was on the show?
Yeah, just don't. They've all jumped the ship, ladies and gentlemen. And
maybe we should get Jericho Green. Maybe he'll pop on and we can talk music with him.
I think that we could probably reach out and make that offer. I've offered for a lot of people. I mean, offers don't is that Bob Leather has an open door where he's making a lot of comments right now about Brad Gillis that needs to come on the show. I'm going to tell you that.
Fucking Brad Gillis.
He's got some thoughts about.
Did
Brad
you see
Gillis.
Brad Gillis?
He even said to me, he DM'd us and said, "Brad Gillis has his own fucking logo. What kind of move is this?"
But
So
Brad
yeah,
Gillis
Brad
was
Gillis
on
has his own
stage.
logo, Bob Leather.
Yeah, Brad Gillis was wearing the Neely pants. Did you see that? He was wearing the mariachi pants
Yes,
on
he had the
stage.
mariachi pants
And they
that
look better on him
a
because
lot of
he
these
is in
guys are.
shape and he brags about that like a
Well,
chick. Yeah.
he's more fit.
Yeah, he's more fit.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Well, that's what Bob. So Bob messaged me and said, "Hey, I said, have you seen his workout pictures?" And he said, "No." And I said,
oh,
That's really
fuck.
what you got to see, Bob. And he said,
Yeah,
"What?"
that's
So I messaged him about 6 pictures of Gillis doing the workout routine with the medicine ball and the stuff. And so Bob's been commenting. Matter of fact, I have comments right here on my phone now.
oh.
I have to go check from Bob that
You know,
regarding
you're gonna
those
make
photos. So
me look at Brad Gillis on Instagram. I think I may pick my favorite selfie from of Brad Gillis and share it with you guys next week because
absolutely,
he
yes.
I don't think he's full of himself. I don't think he's an arrogant prick because I've met
No, he's
Gillis
more of
before.
a.
I think he's just proud of
I
his
think he's more of
accomplishment.
trying to,
Yeah,
and trying to motivate other people to be
sure.
healthy and live a healthy
Right.
lifestyle, which in its essence is a noble thing to
Yeah.
do. It's the way it looks. It's the way it appears on your social
Right.
media. And
I mean,
and
yeah.
maybe just maybe if you're going to do that, this is just evil suggestion. Maybe make a Brad Gillis official that's just
Yeah.
you playing the axe, you
Yeah.
doing the music stuff, and
Mhm.
then Brad Gillis Fitness is a separate
Yeah.
Instagram where you could come over here and see me doing my. Don't give me both. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't need to see you on the medicine ball. There's a picture of you
Right.
shirtless in a pool. I don't need to see
Right.
that, Brad.
I saw
So,
that.
just saying.
Yeah.
I want to see you
Yeah.
playing guitar on stage. And so I'm just saying someone in his circle probably should tell him, hey, dude, make these 2 separate things. But that Bob Leather is on a whole nother rant
Yeah.
regarding gingers and freckles and mustaches and whammy bars.
He's
So,
fucking
I'm
nuts.
just telling you, dude.
He scares
So
me. He
I'm
scares
trying
me.
to get him to put it in audio. I don't need text message. He wants me to read all
Yeah.
these text messages, you guys. I need the audio, Bob.
Well, we
So
should almost-
I'm willing to show the receipts and maybe screenshot some of the messages, and I'll read them so people can see this is legitimate. But I still feel it'd be even better if we actually had Bob giving us a 2 or 3 minute audio clip of him just dissecting his thoughts on Brad Gillis, or Ron
Right.
Keel is one he's brought up. And
Ron
he
Keel
has
too,
no
right?
love. Yeah, he's got something about Ron Keel's beard and his hair, his chest hair makes Bob feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
And then the trickster guys, he's not real big on
Oh,
the trickster
yeah,
guys.
I know
said,
he
without
does not
Pete,
like
this
them.
is a fucking sham. He said this Baldo and this little brownie cake guy is not cutting it.
oh fuck.
So
That is funny.
Bob's got some. He has some takes. So I'm trying to get audio. I want audio to play. I think that people hearing Bob's voice will really send the messages home even better. But so we're working on that. There's again. I still haven't even finished Ptolemy. Not gonna lie to you, Eric Braverman. That's a 2-hour
yeah.
fucking of my life. I'm trying to figure out how I can squeeze, because it's just you walking around talking about Metallica and making a bunch of fucking jokes
Right.
about the motherfuckers the whole time.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's still, I think he's a little bit more. I think we're just going to have to just set a date and time, let him come on and just let him go, because Braverman's just going to do Braverman and just going to go off. So, that is already been agreed to. It's just a matter of when. And then, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to lure, again, I don't even know if it is Doghouse. It's just, there was some terminology I showed you guys on the YouTube comment that sounded very much like it was.
Doghouse.
I made a mention that his character on the CMS back in the day had some ladies in his life, and one of them was as tight as a new gym sock. He gave that a thumbs up. So I think that means that we're talking to Doghouse.
That's right.
But so far he has not been willing to step up to the CMS world again. So we shall see. I'm trying, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to find these old some of these people that I think would make good comedy routines for our show. Number one,
and
number two.
what happened?
How long has it been since we've actually heard from these people?
Yeah. And what happened with Barden? He's not on. He wasn't in the chat, the Rumble chat, was he? I didn't see him.
I think he was right at the beginning. I think he was for a few minutes right at the beginning. And then he said something about how once the show gets started, I was going to bed, not wanted here. What I don't know, there was something like that. Now, whether that's the real Barden, I don't remember what Barden's screen name was. So sometimes you have to wonder, is this the real Phil Ooze or the real Barden, or these guys? They're not me, but I don't wonder who they are. So,
The
and there
real
was like a
Phil
guy
Ooze.
came in the room last night. I want to say a guy came in the room like last week or 2 weeks ago. Was Ben Benjamin was all up my
Mm-hmm.
shit, and he disappeared. No more Ben Benjamin. Don't see him in the chat room this week.
Mm-mm.
And then some other guy came out of the work named Jeff or Jose or someone with a J, and he was
Mm-hmm.
talking up the wrap up show, and they banned him from the room too. And I don't know who that was. So either way,
Oh,
I'm not
they're
trying
so
to like
sensitive.
sabotage nothing for these guys. I'm just trying to join in and crack some jokes and have some laughs. And these people are just like, you fucking don't belong here. Stone him.
Yeah.
Stone him.
Yeah.
So I literally, I get one comment usually. You'll see it. And then it says comment deleted by moderator. That's
Yeah.
taking me out of the chat.
Yeah. What a dick.
So, yeah. No point in evil even trying at this point in time to engage or have any fun with it. It's my fun's right here, and my fun's talking to Jamie St. James and doing what we're doing. So
maybe we'll when they do put that book together and there's interview opportunities and we're only one of like 2 people that reach out to them, and maybe they'll send us a PDF of that book so we can see it, and then we'll pull one of them on here.
Somehow, we have to find some way to covertly come up with a fake email for Don the interview guy, and
Yeah.
and then they make them think it's somebody else, and then they come on the screen and it's you saying
It's
there
like, oh,
or me.
what the fuck? Yeah.
I wouldn't sandbag. I'm just talking trash, people. Evil's having his fantasies here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to them. No, at this point in time, I'm not even emailing anymore. Like I said, I probably sent 5 or 6 emails with no response to Wendell, to the both to him and to his request line, and no response. So not playing my song requests, not answering my emails to come on the show. I think he's pretty much ignored Evil at this point in time. That's why he's got the Remington from Father Dayton, and he's leaving me out of the loop.
Well,
making me feel bad. So
I know there's something in the works. There's something in the works though, right? I mean, there's something about Ghoul Tales or something. I mean, that's coming up for Halloween.
Well, we can say we're a few weeks away in the month of October. We are preparing some pre-prepared segments, some things we're producing in-house. It will be Ghoul Tales, I believe, is what we're calling the one of them we're going to have for October regarding some individuals who might be distributing ghoulish behavior and saying ghoulish things, and we would like to expand upon that and analyze it a little bit. And then I'm producing a particular segment that's going to become Unsolved Mysteries of the CMS.
Oh, Jesus.
And we're going to dissect things that we've heard about in the CMS universe, but never got to fully explore or really dive into the mystery of why do they think this way? Or why do they think that would happen? And how could that happen? And so the only way we can really do that is to, I think, have Evil break it down with some Unsolved Mysteries type of dissection.
Here's one for your mysteries. If you recall, at the tail end of this winter, I forget when it was, winter, maybe early spring, those 2 knuckleheads were talking about having some of the people in the chat room over, and I don't know whose house. I doubt it was Chris's. It was probably Neely's house for a CMS barbecue that summer, and that didn't happen.
Okay.
So that's one of those mysteries. What happened with that?
Mysteries. What happened to that one? Mystery of why did Anthony Cumia dive in and dive out?
Yeah,
and never
blow them off.
Make an appearance. Yeah. We're going to dive. One of the top mysteries right now that's on Evil's mind is, can a 400-pound man water ski? We're going to dive into that. We're going to see, is there a boat that can pull
be on
a man that's
Mythbusters?
400 pounds? It's going to be on Unsolved Mysteries. We're going to solve this. We're going to try to at least, because we need to know, is there a boat that has enough torque, enough horsepower to pull a man that large? Is there a rope that's made of enough material strong enough to pull a 400-pound man out of the water without snapping in two? There's a lot of things. It seems like, he's a big guy just going to go water skiing. I think we're going to have to throw that under the microscope. And then we're going to throw in the microscope is how many men could live to be 63 years old and never have sex without a condom? This is a mystery that needs to be solved. I mean, how is there any other man on planet Earth that has had sex for 63 years only with rubbers? I want to know. I
Yeah.
don't think there is. I think
Probably not.
that every other guy in the world is going to go, fuck. No, somewhere
Yeah.
in 63 years, I slipped it in without a rubber trying to make a baby.
Yeah.
This is a gentleman who's roundly said he's only ever had sex with a prophylactic, ladies and gentlemen. Safety first. So that is an unsolved mystery right
That
there. So
is
there's a
true.
lot of mysteries on the CMS that we got to dive into and analyze and say, well, how could this be? Is this even a possibility? We may have to take a poll of 20 or 30, 63-year-old men and say, how many of you have only had sex with a condom? I might have to go out like a Howard Stern thing with a microphone, a little wrap-up show microphone, interview people in front of the grocery store.
Right.
Something. We're going to maybe put a poll on the internet or something. Let people chime in that way. Is there how many? So there's a lot of mysteries with the CMS, but some of them start with like you're talking about right there. Some of them we're going to go dive into the mystery. I'm telling you right now, there will be an unsolved mysteries. What happened to the soccer podcast?
Yeah.
We will find out. Here,
And,
this
and I
soccer
guess another
podcast.
mystery too is how it was that Florentine kind of landed on their radar, because I'm still thinking there's still maybe a wrinkle there where it's a setup of some sort. Wouldn't it be awesome if
A plant.
if Trunk set this whole thing
ET.
up and has this elaborate plan on how to stick it to him, and they fell right into it.
And he is a true rock mastermind, pretty much the king of rock radio at this point in time between Sirius and his podcast. I mean, at this point in time, if you're a true rock person in the rock scene and you're going to release an album or a single or announce a tour, you probably want to be on Eddie Trunk show. And
Not the
so
CMS
I
where
would not
they
doubt,
talk
you
about
know,
punching women in
if
the
you're-
face.
Well, what about Charlie Kendall in the Metal Shop? It wasn't he long before Eddie Trunk, ladies and gentlemen. He was the
Right.
pioneer of everything that's in rock radio, according to Wendell Neely and Chris Aiken. So,
Right.
but we could also dive into the mystery of what happened to heavy metal television. Why does that no longer exist?
What
Maybe
happened
Eric
there?
Braverman might come on and help us dissect on
That
a
might be a
unsolved
good one to
mysteries.
save
What
for
happened
him.
to his heavy
Yeah,
metal
what happened
television?
there?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he might have a take on that from what the
Sure.
emails I've been reading from him. So,
Yeah, right.
so we'll see, and we'll find out if any of this. I'm not trying to cause waves for them, but clearly we're not allowed in their chat rooms or on their show, so we have to make our own content over here. And we are the kind of individuals who we were challenged to create a show. We create a show. Now we're being challenged to, at least internally amongst ourselves, to create some good content for you guys, produce some segments that'll get some laughs or explore some topics, and we're going to do that.
Or
So.
as Neely would say, the ha-has.
The ha-has.
The ha-has.
We're going to chit-chat over some cocktails while we're having a good time.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well,
Also,
it'll be good.
yes, so we'll see what's up for next week. Right now, I would say one thing I'm going to bring to the show for next week, we need to have the Clip Clop award for the month of September. So we're going to have to nominate a Clip Clopper here.
Yeah.
And so me and Ruben will have a little discussion and figure out which Clip Clop we want to bring to the show next week for that. And then I should say he's been kind of blowing me up a little bit. I think it's still hot on his radar. I think the real Bobby Blotzer is probably going to want to have a conversation with you about the show.
Oh, no,
So I
about
don't want to
the-
get too far away
No.
from that. About the blot. He's still not. He's
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, I don't think he's going to stop talking until he gets that drum thrown back. Just so you guys know.
oh boy. I'm willing to ask him too. You got to remind me before we get him on. I was going to ask him if he would perform on stage with a guy that dresses up like Count Chocula.
I think he's going to have some strong opinions about that too, because at this point in time, with DeMartini and Carlos on the guitars, he's kind of feeling like we're 2 steps away, so to speak, from having a real rat, imitation type.
I mean, it
reunion.
kinda is.
Sweepy Sweeperson being the road manager.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Jason Greenbaum should be looking over his shoulder, because if Blotzer comes in the door, Sweepy Sweeperson might be coming with him.
Oh no.
You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Never know.
All right.
I would think though Jason Green should, as a pragmatic individual and a businessman, he should probably go ahead and mend a broken bridge
With Blotzer. How do you do that though? I mean, he railed on him on that CMS. Remember, he did all the heavy lifting on that. I think they just asked him one question and then he just took off for like an hour and 15 minutes.
like a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be tough, but again, in the sense of business, as Blotzer himself would say, in the idea and the spirit of business, that we have to sometimes agree to disagree and say we do better business together than apart. And Blotzer seems more than willing to do that with Mr. Candyman on lead guitar. So I would imagine if Sepp was only going to be involved with Greenbaum at the helm, I would imagine Blotzer's going to shut the hell up and get back on the kit. But we'll see how it works out. I seem to remember, if you recall, there was a moment when Steven's band was playing the whiskey, and he had Bobby. This is during COVID, and he had Bobby come up and do a couple songs. I seem to remember Jason Green said that he left the building or took off or something once Blotzer popped in. So maybe they have not amended that relationship, I guess. But either way, the real Bobby Blotzer has been texting me, and he is very adamant that guy. Well, he called her that. He said that chick on the drums don't belong there. So, yeah, that tells you his feelings.
Wow.
So, we'll see if we can get him scheduled up for next Sunday to have a little conversation with myself or Ruben or both, and we'll bring up a Cripple Claw award, and we'll also see what comes down the CMS road next week. You might have more details about a book and more details about radio shows. So, I think that's all I have for you guys.
I think since you mentioned Blotzer, I want you to keep it. Why don't you? And I'll mention him because there's also like a Metal Sludge connection, because this guy always went on on that page, the message board there on Metal Sludge, and would plug his band, and he's or was pretty close with Bobby Blotzer. But if you want to check out the band Stone Breed and check them out, it kind of reminds me of the Southern California version of Crenshaw. So it's kind of all the same lines.
Worth checking out.
Yeah, you'll check it out. I'm wanting to see what your thoughts are on that, and then I'll look through Brad Gillis's profile over the next week and pick my favorite workout selfie.
I think you should do that. And if I can't get Bob Leather to record audio this week on a Gillis take, maybe I will, make it so you can bring up a couple of receipts and show that this message did come from Bob Leather's filth, and then I'll read it. And because he definitely has some interesting commentary already regarding Brad Gillis, and that was before he saw all the photos I sent him. I posted them on his page, so I think he's going to have an eye full of Brad.
Why
Gillis
don't we do
working out.
this? I can pick a photo, get it to you, you can get it to him, and we'll get his commentary on it and read that.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
Absolutely.
That would be fun, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, it'd be nice to have him personally on, even if he doesn't show himself, just have his voice.
Yeah. I just told him to record the audio, and I would come up with some kind of a graphic and record the audio and have you hit play. And just like we watch anything else, we can hear Bob and we can hit pause and talk about it. And, so we'll see. He's nervous for some reason. He wanted to call me on the phone and interview me, which I didn't understand for what. Where would the interview go? You don't have.
Maybe
a show,
he's
Bob.
writing
Where
a
would
book.
you post my interview?
Maybe he's writing a book.
I don't know. Bob's a crazy person. I can tell you that much. Again, you've seen some of the messages.
Right.
That's just a snippet of the things that are going on, and it sometimes I ask a very direct question, and then the next comment is completely unrelated to that. It's again going on about Brad Gillis's mustache, his Frank Williams whammy bar. So
the whammy bar.
I don't know. Yeah, he has weird observations. So.
Maybe that's what we ought to do. I'll look for a Brad Gillis workout selfie, get it to you, you get it to Bob, we'll get his commentary, we'll share the picture.
He likes you. He likes you.
Why does he like me? Okay, well, maybe I'll send him.
He likes you.
Oh, he likes me.
Yeah, you should DM Bob Leather's filth. Yes,
he's going to get the wrong idea.
He said, "I like your co-host."
Oh, he does.
He said he says he's very PC, but he's very PC, but I like your co-host. I like the way
very
he
PC.
He said I don't know about Neely's the fake Neely or whatever he called me. So.
Oh, the fake.
I think it's the fake Neely that he's nervous about. I don't know why.
So maybe I will. I'll get him
you
the
might
photo.
Get more. Yeah. Just send us DM a photo from your own page and just get some. You'll see he'll start dialoguing and then you'll see if you.
I did see that or hear that janitor song.
Yes, he has a
Oh,
janitor song. He has a politician song now
Yeah.
too. You guys should check out. That's also,
Yeah, I
quite,
think
quite an eye opener.
he's on Bandcamp too, right? I think.
Yes, this is where he's posting
Oh
most of his
God.
stuff. Yes, yeah, you can go in there and you can buy and supply some cash to him, which helps him finance his recordings of these very revealing tracks. Let's just say he gets right down to the dark, dirty secrets of what could happen with a politician or a janitor if they were not on the ups. I think so. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Only Bob can give you that kind of insight, ladies and gentlemen. Only a Bob Leather would study the janitor to such degree that he could write a song about him. So.
Right. Oh boy. All right. Well,
So, anyways, well, yeah. So that's what we're going to try to bring you as much good CMS content as we can going forward. We'll see what I think. Real Bobby Blotzer, maybe some commentary on from Bob Leather on Brad Gillis next week, and we'll bring out the Cripple Claw. We do have a couple of nominees I have to run past Ruben and see.
oh
what she
boy.
thinks
Okay.
the primary
Well, that
one.
sounds good.
Yeah. All righty, y'all. So, bye, kids.
Raise your horns high.